Hi family, this is Charlie from Cosmic Lab, coming live from Houston here in Texas. I like to give kind of a weekend or week wrap up of the things that I've learned, as well as being able to share this information with everybody here in this labyrinth. The whole idea of these kind of video logs is to make sure that people are sharing the kind of like the more personal experiences a lot more. I think there are too many people out there that are having these amazing experiences that are considered to, I guess, mainstream. Everybody thinks it's weird or supernatural, paranormal, sci-fi, whatever people want to label, because they just don't understand that reality is stranger than fiction. So with that said, these vlogs, these weekly wrap-up vlogs is kind of to help me process the information I've kind of explored in the real world, as well as being able to share this information with you guys here on this YouTube or video audience. I have also amazing partners here that are also exploring our beautiful cosmic labyrinth and sharing their knowledge and their information of what they see. So just want to give you guys a quick background of who I am. I used to live in LA for about 20 years. I graduated from USC with computer science background back in 2003. It was during the early days of the dot-com boom, but I always felt like my focus would be more on creative technology. So I got a minor in media arts. Mostly learning how to use Photoshop, Premiere, the whole Adobe digital suite. And then I went into web development and eventually found my way at Disney Interactive Studios, where I helped a lot of the games there, a lot of the online games for about six years. And then I left and kind of wanted to branch out and really develop this. Wanted to see where consciousness was going to take technology, and I was kind of in the tech space in Santa Monica area about a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, when I made the jump to come to Houston and spend some time here kind of figuring out what industry I was going to get involved in. And the synchronicities, the timing, whatever you want to call it, the science from the science from the universe guided me to follow a passion that I've always had about acupuncture. I grew up with it with my parents. My dad was kind of say amateur acupuncturist, learning from a master, while my mother was more about the Western medicine and finding kind of the best technology out there for us. So today you're finding that health is going through kind of a lot of walls, hitting a lot of walls where they are having to branch out to different modalities that brings a more holistic approach to our health. And acupuncture is starting to get a lot more recognition because a lot more people are doing research and trying to find whether or not you can get a replicable treatments for people. But one thing that what I'm learning even in acupuncture right now is understanding that there's not a one solution for any problems. Understanding that your body constitution very much affects how a disease will progress in your body. And this is kind of where a lot of times the silver bullet of Western medicine has caused a lot of trouble, because that silver bullet tends to actually create more side effects than they were actually curing. So in my discovery of acupuncture, you kind of open up the door to what mainstream information would like you to understand. And what happens is, even in science, the quantum field represents the idea that your mind can change your reality. And because of that, that changes what science is about. And science now has to take into account the psychology of people. But here now you're talking about acupuncture, and acupuncture is also revolutionizing how we see our health, because these meridians that we had not looked at in Western medicine now are researching and finding out proof that there are meridians in your body, are quite dramatically affecting how we really show certain symptoms in our body. So because of that, since really I've actually been looking at a lot of alternative topics in my life. Alternative history, alternative medicine was a big one I started early on in my life because I've had early problems when I was younger. And then there's been all kinds of, I've looked at alternative spirituality, which opens up many doors. So we will eventually get to those conversations, but today I wanted to really focus on my training, my development as an acupuncturist, as well as an herbologist, and to be able to share that information with everybody out there, because it's very important that we are able to share this information and give us more thoughts on how we could help each other explore any topics, any field, any categories in our life, and see whether or not there's more to explore. And so we come to today and this week, wrapping up. I'm in my first year in acupuncture. I've learned a little bit about foundations, the physiology of the organs, understanding how the 5 elements of Chinese medicine is applied in our everyday life as well as our body. And it's really interesting how in Western society we have the 4 elements, and I think there is a rediscovery of maybe there's a 5th element. People talk about ether. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how this information evolves, and we start to rediscover a lot of this ancient knowledge that, let's be real, there's a lot of proof that it's been working for a long time. So with that said, I wanted to share some of the classes as well as some of the video series that I will be starting on the Cosmic Labyrinth channel. Some of the major classes that I'm taking this trimester that I really want to learn better for myself. And because of that, I want to make these videos to for myself listen to when I'm just driving or doing anything, so I can make the information more solid in my brain. But if anybody who is interested in listening to this information, I hope that someone is, people want to listen to it as well. Share this information, and I'm not here to tell you watch my videos and get a degree. I'm just saying, if anyone is interested, my videos is a start to create good insight, but definitely if you want to be an acupuncturist, go look at certain places that will give you the right classes to take the boards, to become a licensed acupuncturist. Don't just learn how to put needles in your body. Understand that your body is a very complex and simplified system of elements. 5 elements in our body is kind of simplified, in many ways in Chinese medicine, so that when you look at the information, it's not that difficult. It's not that complicated. To someone who grew up with a Western structure, it might be a little difficult. We won't get into that. But to people who have been raised with an indigenous background, I'm talking Native Americans, I'm talking Tibetan, I'm talking ancient civilizations that used to actually study nature as if it was a requirement for everything they did. Herbology used to be all that they did for medicine. So when we look at these ancient knowledge and how they were applied in old civilization, they thrived before electricity was even brought into their modalities, So I think today, we get kind of caught up in technology that requires electricity, where I feel like nature has its own bioelectricity that we could actually learn to tune into. So acupuncture is kind of a different modality to access these biomechanisms and these biorhythms and these energies in our body and field. So this trimester, I'm taking Herbology 2. So in Herbology, there's a 3 semester. There's about 300 herbs, and I'm not sure exactly what that number is. I should probably look it up. But all those herbs have to be memorized. It's just kind of like if you go to Western medicine, that you take pharmacology and you have to study all the different pharmacological pills that you take to help with like hypertension, hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism. So we do the same thing in Chinese medicine, and that's kind of where hopefully my Herbology series will give people an insight of how herbs are used to bring us into homeostasis. And that's really all Chinese medicine does. It believes that we naturally have the tools and the biorhythms to heal ourselves. And we use acupuncture as well as herbs if needed. Acupuncture does a lot already, but if you do need herbs, they say tonifying, that usually helps the organs kind of revive themselves. These herbs you can use to kind of help in different aspects of treating deficiencies or excess problems in your body. So that's what I'm studying. So I'm studying Herbology 2, and it's there are like 4 categories, and I will be in the Herbology series go through all these herbs and try to explain them as much as I can based on what I've learned and I've researched. Please do not take my videos as the 100% definitive answers to Herbology. These are just my notes that I'm studying. I'm preparing myself to study for the boards. This is for me, and I'm just sharing this information, just to share, just so everyone can have an idea of what's out there. But please, pick up these books, go to classes, listen to people talk. Acupuncturists are doing this. Hearing them talk about the how a patient comes back from taking these herbs is such a beautiful story, and this makes me very happy to be taking class with these amazing acupuncturists who are already practicing medicine in the field. And then another class I'm taking is neuroanatomy. So we do have to, what's great about this school is they really want to integrate the East and the West. This school is called American College of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. It's a mouthful. We call it ACOM for short, but it's a pretty big name, long name, But the East and West is really important to what's happening, especially in Houston. Houston is a very big medical city. Everywhere here, they have dentists and doctors and clinics, like next to every Starbucks here. It's not probably too much, but there's a lot of medical fields out here. So it's really interesting. And I've heard that the medical center here in Houston are starting to bring acupuncturists for different things. Like one of them is anesthesia. Instead of using, because a lot of people don't want to use anesthesia, you put some needles and some nerves, turn off the nerves for a couple hours, do some work, take the needles out, boom, you're ready to go again. No nerve damage, nothing. And that's the power of acupuncture. It's kind of like accessing a software using kind of the needles. To me kind of represent, not exactly, but they represent screwdrivers, where you put when you go and you have to manage water flow in a sprinkler system. You turn the screwdriver to get more water flow, less water flow, because a section where the sprinkler system is busted, water's flowing everywhere. So suddenly the crops that you needed to have a pretty dry condition has too much water. So now you get mold in these plants. Very similar to our body. Sometimes, trauma, a vessel burst, there's blood everywhere. You have to turn off that valve, let the blood heal, and then you can turn that valve back on, and then it starts up and it heals itself. So that's what acupuncture is doing. It's just really redirecting energy and flow. While it's really important because Western medicine, what they've done really well, they've spent years taking apart body parts just to see how it works. And today we have to thank the entire field for being able to, because in the East, opening your bodies was not a thing. We're not allowed to do that. So the West did, and now through that knowledge, we're able to really microscopically look and fix and fix people's body parts. Like you have, I mean, cardiac surgery is amazing. You have a broken heart, I mean, a heart that has problems, not a broken heart from emotions. They can replace the heart with, you know, that's amazing. That's Western medicine is great at acute problems. And so it's very important that we study ourselves, neuroanatomy, so that if I'm putting needles in the scalp, I understand how the brain anatomy works and understand the prefrontal cortex, and that's why there are meridians in the prefrontal cortex to help us understand the more literal meaning of life versus when you need more of an abstract, symbolic reality of the world. You know, you kind of move to more right brain or back here for, you know, more the motor cortex. So our brain and even the acupuncture points in the meridians on our scalp very much match what Western medicine has studied from what the brain does. So, you know, this semester I have to take neuroanatomy. So I'm going to be sharing a series, a video series of what the brain is, because I'm struggling in that class. So hopefully these videos will help me kind of be better. Another class I'm taking is Acupuncture 1. So Acupuncture 1 is, so there are 12 main channels. So there are 12 main channels and basically 8 extra channels, main primary channels. So let's say there's 20 primary channels. In 3 classes, they break up and talking about each of these channels. So within basically a whole year, because a whole year here is 3 semesters, 3 trimesters, so we are able to study very closely the first 5 during the first trimester, and then the next 5, and then the next 5, or more than 5, I think 7. So I will also have a series on acupuncture points, where they are located. And there might be some days where I have to probably edit my video because I may mess up on the location. I want to make sure I give you guys the right information, but I also don't want to be afraid that like I have to be perfect, because I'll never get these videos out. And I'm learning myself that being able to share with you guys my learning process is more important than me trying to be a perfect doctor, trying to share you guys the perfect information, and that won't take 20 years. Okay. 4 years when I would be a full doctor. So I don't want to wait for that. I want to be able to share this information, but there is a disclaimer that again, to everybody, please be discerning of the information and do more research. This is just one of many thoughts and ideas behind this beautiful medicine. Acupuncture 1. Oh, and then I'm a big metaphysical geek. I mean, ever since I've started to understand and feel and sense and connect to pranic energy or chi or spiritual energy, whatever different modalities call it, I've really been studying on the side, you know, going to different workshops, meeting different teachers who are sharing this information. I'm Reiki certified, but I've, you know, pranic healing has been something that's been coming up recently, and their way of describing things is so engineering-like that I've really enjoyed studying some of these modalities. So I will also be sharing some of these metaphysical modalities that are out there. I think there's so much out there now that is being shared. So the best thing is for someone to kind of go in, listen to everybody, listen to all the different psychics out there, listen to all the different scientists out there and their version of their stories, and then go within, do some meditation yourself, spend hours trying to go, what does this information mean to me? Does this information help me? Does this information not help me? And then from there, make choices in your life that allows you to be freer to be yourself. That is really the major message that I want to share with everybody is in this cosmic labyrinth, everybody is part of the cell, a giant cell, the giant human body, what is we call Earth, right? and we are kind of like red blood cells, and all of us are kind of trying to be the best version of ourselves. There's no right way or wrong way to do anything. And because of that, it's very important that we share who we are as beings. I think when we go out there, we get too afraid that we've been attacked for not being normal enough, okay? And today, I think what we find in YouTube community is the least normal, the better, and that's why we appreciate watching. So, you know, Cosmic Labyrinth is not meant to be normal. It's meant to be way out there so that we are shooting for the moon and then we start to fly while trying to get to the moon or Mars or whatever planet mainstream media would like us to focus on. But in astrology, I see all planets all at once. Definitely an astrology series will happen, but I have to focus on what I'm studying right now, but I will share also my knowledge. I'm an amateur geek about astrology. I'm by no means a teacher. I'm still learning. I think the best way of learning astrology is learning a little bit, go out in the real world, see how it works, and then go and study the next level, and then see how the relationship of planets and astrology works. Then go and find relationship that you learn from, and then go back to astrology and learn more, and then go out in the real world. And that to me is the best way of applying the information that we know so that it becomes wisdom. Wisdom is really information applied, and that's really the focus of a lot of my channels. Is I would like to give the knowledge out there and then go and explore and see how this information is out there really happening. And from there, I hope to get some wisdom and share that wisdom with you guys so that some of us can skip a little bit of steps, because we're supposed to be a community to share information, and I don't think I need to repeat all the experiments that everybody's doing, right? So I'm gonna share my experiments that I love, that I care about. I'm sorry about the mic. And I'm going to also want everyone to share on this channel, and I will find more people who are learning amazing stuff and who want to share this information to the Cosmic Labyrinth channel. So please stay tuned. Please subscribe if you guys want to keep up with my conversations or anybody else on this channel. We're here to be of service as we're being of service to ourselves. I believe that the greatest service to myself is to be able to be an example to share that information to everybody else. And you know, there should be kind of like serving self is serving others. And if you guys can understand that we're closer to becoming cosmic beings than just pissing on everything and saying that's ours, you know. Let's move beyond those those borders, guys and girls, and let's get to a place where we can share who we are and be who we are and support each other in our journey along this labyrinth. One more class I took this past week is essential oils. Me, like many other guys who were told smelling good is for women and that BS, I've learned that essential oils and smelling good and appreciating good smells is for everyone. I've just learned that essential oils, just breathing in the energetics, meaning the prana, the chi, and then the smell itself will create a connection in your brain to activate visual information if you need to, if you're clairvoyant, I was going to say clairvisual. And for people, I mean, smells a very strong smell. Like I get a lot of memories when I remember smells from my childhood, like most people do. But then I learned that you could also smell these essential oils into different organs. And depending on where you put them, in which organs, they will activate the function of the organs. And I'm taking the class going, wait, where have I heard this before? Oh, right, Chinese medicine and acupuncture. You know, acupuncture, you put needles on your leg and suddenly the chi flows into your kidneys and suddenly your kidneys function, activate. You're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. you take herbs, and they will also activate your kidney or flush your kidneys or move blockage so your kidneys can move the water around. Essential oils do the same thing. I thought that was so amazing. And I have been to Egypt. I have been in some of these amazing rooms where they have hieroglyphics, or what I call visual information of what's important in our reality. And there are rooms of essential oils and what they do. So the ancients, the Native Americans, the tribes of Africa, the people here that have very close to herbs and to the smells of flowers and to the seeds and to the plants here, are very in tune to the medicine that our body needs. So it's very, very exciting to be able to share with all of you this information that I'm gathering throughout my journey here on this Earth Labyrinth. And from there, I hope to become a more cosmic being, because this information just reminds me that I'm already a cosmic being. We are all cosmic beings. But if we are running a program of the humans that came from monkeys, then we will be limited to the knowledge that, again, apparently monkeys could understand. Let's be real, monkeys are not that dumb. So I'm not an expert on anything. I'm just an explorer of information and applied knowledge, and I'm very good at making sure that what I see can be replicated, so that I am not just using my intuition to connect to everything. I believe intuition is very powerful. People call it different things. Gut feeling. They talk about, Malcolm Gladwell talks about the blink mechanic, where you suddenly can come up with an idea. I use intuition to kind of guide me, but I use scientific methodology to make sure that I can correlate information, so that I'm not just purely blindly believing that acupuncture is the best. I believe acupuncture is great, but I believe that herbology is very powerful too. And the indigenous people looked at medicine through plant medicine, and they might supposedly mostly use plant medicine, So I think I don't want to say, hey, only do acupuncture, and I want to say, oh, only do herbs. I don't want to say only go to Western medicine. I say, tune into intuition, and then you talk to minimum three people. Correlate your information. Find out whether or not this information is consistent with everybody, However, we do believe also that once you understand, just like in art, just like in music, once you understand the structure and you become a master of the foundation of the structure of the information, break the rules. As a healer, I'm here just to learn foundations for the next 4 years. I am sharing my information that I'm learning, and I hope that people out there can get some thoughts and ideas. And please, I would appreciate comments through YouTube or through whatever medium I use to connect to the audience. And obviously, I'm not going to answer any trolls, so you trolls can be there just for me to laugh at. But truth know itself. So if you guys want to share this information, you want to talk about, sure. If you're here just to attack and criticize, share your information. If you're not willing to be vulnerable in this on the chat, then we're not going to listen to you. I'm here and being vulnerable of the information I'm learning and what it means to me, and I'm not here to kind of tell anybody what to do. Some people will take acupuncture and then we'll go somewhere else and do something else, and eventually bring it all together in 20 years, and great, we'll have evolved what acupuncture can be. But today, this information is very consistent. I see so many great things happening, and I want to be able to be part of creating an infrastructure that allows energy to be a consistent modality in our health. Please, let's be real. Just because we don't talk about energy doesn't mean energy doesn't exist. Energy, it makes everything move. So just like our technology needs electricity, so does our body, and our body needs this plasmic energy field that scientists are starting to play around in the quantum field. So, you know, I'm kind of rambling on now. I think I'm gonna end my first vlog about how this last couple of weeks has been an amazing journey on this labyrinth, learning so much. And the more I share with you guys, the more I can empty my cup and fill it up with more information as I learn from these great masters in these days and age. So please stay tuned, please subscribe, and I will be continuing my weekly vlogs, and we'll give you more details of what I'm learning. I know I don't want to go on too long, but I've been going on for a while now about all the stuff I'm learning. I'm still learning way more. Like, I'm taking nutrition also. I'm taking differentiation. So I don't want to share everything. I think I'm never going to be able to start if I just start with the classes that I really need to study for, and then eventually I will add more videos to those topics. But for now, I will be very much focused on neuroanatomy. I love the brain. I love how the brain works. It's an amazing system. But also learning and sharing how herbology is very important. I've just learned about plant astrology and then this medical astrology. And I've only focused on needles and some of the relationships. So like even astrology, I'm like drooling, waiting to learn about medical astrology. But I know that right now it's just focused on these core classes to help me so that I can finally learn some of these higher wisdom. So thank you for staying with me and listening to me kind of share what I'm experiencing down here on Earth. Because, you know, let's be real, we're all astronauts from an infinite world beyond this physical reality, and some of us have come down here in this human suit to experience something very more profound and be able to lose our abilities from source and being able to find all those abilities again. You know, it's like putting a blindfold and saying, can you learn how to see again without your eyes? So, you know, I'm here to share with you guys all that I've apparently known many lifetimes, and we all know already, but we're just sharing so that we can remember and become the cosmic being that we were born to be. So thank you very much. Stay tuned for our next episode of the Cosmic Lab, and I love you all. The light within me, recognize the light within you all. Bye. See you soon.